It's the new Star Wars Land Speeder.
Wow, looks like it's floating. The sand people.
As kids growing up on the Kenner Star Wars toy line, we all knew the Land Speeder toy that could hold up to 4 action figures. Although only released in the Star Wars line, it was one of the first extra Star Wars toys we got for our figures. With just a push of a hand, you could make the Land Speeder fly across the living room and right into a group of stormtroopers. The Land Speeder even had an open hood, so Luke could install some newly purchased power converters. As much fun as it was, many kids had no idea there was 2 different ones released. The Land Speeder we mostly had was sold at any toy store from your local toy shop to Toys R Us. However, kids who had parents that shopped out of the JCPenney catalog, they had a chance to get something a little different. Also released by Kenner, also would hold 4 figures, it looked almost like the same one as the one you begged your parents for at Kmart. What could be different about this one? And why was this happy child seen in the ad talking into an R2-D2 speaker? Well, what was sold in the JCPenney catalog was the Sonic Control Land Speeder, what may have been the coolest name for any Star Wars toy ever. What was Sonic? As a kid in 1978, we were not really sure, but we knew we wanted this. We knew it was better than the one we had that you had to push with your hand. Reading the catalog, we learned that it was a remote control land speeder. No hands were needed to fly this one across the living room and into your dog's water bowl. All you had to do was take the R2-D2 controller and click the button. With that click, the land speeder would take off forward. With each click, you could go forward, turn, and even back up. And best of all, if you got lucky, that same click would cause your TV set to turn off, upsetting your new stepfather who just opened his Pat's Blue Ribbon beer to watch the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders during halftime. Surely worth a black eye to any kid growing up in the 70s. From the look of it, this thing looked almost the same as the normal Kenner release, but at closer look we see it's a little bulkier. Has speaker holes in the middle pipe, on the bottom is a battery cover, and a label to remind you that this was an electronic toy and it must not be dropped. In fact, if you wanted to play with this thing more than 2 days, it was not only best not to drop it, but also not to run it into walls. Don't take a board game and make it take sweet jumps. In fact, it was best to not even play with it, because no matter how gentle you were about it, it would be broke very soon. This thing was famous, or infamous, for breaking very easy. This could be why Kenner never released it to the general public. They didn't even let Sears sell this thing in their catalog. It may have boasted that Kenner Long Play logo on the box, but this was far from long play, unless you thought 2 hours was long play for a toy. Released in the catalog in 1978, it kept appearing for sale until the end of 1980, but it never did change to an Empire Strikes Back box. So it's most likely JCPenney kept selling this because they had so many in stock. Today it's almost forgotten about in the world of Star Wars Kenner vehicles, but it's one of the rarest. At least to find in a box, harder yet to find in working condition. If you want a land speeder just for your figures to display, the normal hand push one will do the job. But if you want to have a land speeder with a little sonic control fun, this is the land speeder for you. And let's not forget the very cool R2 clicker that you can carry around in the pocket of your Oshkosh Bagosh. One thing I always loved about this ad, not only did it make you think you had to talk into the R2-D2 to get the land speeder to move, if you look close, you'll see a Kenner Star Wars Stormtrooper holding his gun like a gangster from a 1991 Yo MTV Raps video. Exit that land speeder, motherfucker! This has been a look at the Sonic Control Star Wars Land Speeder. In the comments below, let me know if you had this toy, and if so, how long did it take to break? And as always, please subscribe to the channel and thumb up so I know you like my content, and I'll be back very soon.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.
Macaroni.